some positives to take. I thought there wasn't as many individual performances I'd like to see, but I don't know. For me, overall, really not a great match of football. Really was it? But I can kind of see now the way we want to play, how we are playing, and I do think another couple of weeks, our strongest 11, I think we might, and obviously some new additions as well. I think we might be able to start clicking a bit. Again, for me, I can see it a bit what he wants to do, and I think if we do get the right players and we do have a bit more time, aka the preseason, I think there's something to look forward to. I'm not crossing over that bridge that top 10. I'm not putting any places on it, but I can see the football that Potter wants to play. And again, it's not my favorite style, but I can see the vision and what he's trying to do.
For me, I wasn't impressed, if you want me to be truthfully honest. I thought first half was fucking shit. How many times we were trying to go forward and then recycle the ball, and the goal that they score is because of us. And obviously, people are going to criticise Casey on this one, which I don't agree with. I just don't agree with it. We score a lucky goal because their goalkeeper was a fucking plum. After that, the second half, I thought we played well. I thought Everton just went off the ball completely. And then I thought we played all right. And I didn't say we played all right. I said we played really good. I was going to say that. We played really good. But for me, I wasn't impressed with that first half. The first half wasn't good. And there's a lot of issues there.
I thought first half, it was more individual performance than anything.
Yeah.
I thought Potts, Paqueta, and Marshall were very good. And then everyone else was kind of just either meh or just all right. To be honest, I didn't think Kyle Walker-Peters got off on the right foot the way he wanted. He wasn't really too that great or involved. Casey, again, his mistake essentially led to the goal in my opinion, but again, that's a tall task to ask a youngster like him to play in the middle of the back three. It is tough. And Kilman was meh. Mavropanos, meh. I thought Andy Irving was all right. And then
just all right though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just all right. I've just got the team lineup from the first half, yeah. And
I'm faltering him. That goal, again, really, it's not all his fault, but again, that just shows you the quality of goalkeepers we have right now. He should be saving that.
The only thing I don't like, and this is the only thing that's bugging me a little bit, is we're overplaying. And then the second half, it felt like to me, and people are going to call me a negative cunt, but I've just seen it for how I've seen it. Just watched the whole fucking match, for fuck's sake. The first half to the second half, night and day. That's straight away. The second half, we seem like we get the ball, we move it forward. He brought on a load of pace. People was saying in the chat why Luis Guillemy's playing in that position. I'm starting to see why he's playing in that position, because we had energy in that park where people could pick the ball up and carry it out and do damage. I thought Manic Diouf weren't that good in the first half, mate, and that's coming from me. And I rate the kid. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Again, man, but again, he's getting his feet wet, and I don't know. I didn't really think one half or the other was better, to be honest. I thought there was a load.
The second half was a lot better, mate.
I don't think it was a lot better. In my opinion, the match overall, I think we had some good positive moments. But if you put it all together, oh no, that's the way I saw it. I didn't think. I mean, if I had to pick, the second half was better because the first half was a bit comical.
Right. Let's go through a few players. First off, let's start off with James Ward-Prowse. I think the only thing that geezer done good tonight was the interview with his fucking earpiece on. What are you saying about him?
Again, just I don't know. Again, he doesn't offer any pace. He's a bit of a safe player, but again, really didn't do nothing. I thought he struck the ball well on that set piece in the first half, but really that's about it. But again, like I'll say this the same. I said this about Mark Noble when he was coming towards the end of his
Right.
time, where obviously nothing he's doing is flashy, right? But at the end of the day, you need a player like that in your squad. Someone that let's be honest, his football IQ is brilliant. He's going to play the correct ball. You need someone who's going to be safe and make the right pass. You cannot pass it forward and just launch the ball diags every single time.
Yeah, but
There's got to be
you can't keep recycling it though, mate.
yes, I get that, but that's really all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was good. I'm not saying he was terrible, but he was very meh.
For me, he fucking irritated me tonight. James Ward-Prowse completes recycle the ball, passes it forward, passes it back. Like it's the same shit that I see the other day. I see it against Grasshoppers. I see it against Manchester United. I've seen it again tonight. I've got nothing against James Ward-Prowse. Absolutely nothing against the kid, but I think he's too bland. Yeah, and there's nothing else with him. Like there's nothing else he can do other than just the basics. Right, and he's
And
very good at the basics.
in the first half was a little confusing as well because him and Potts were like both picking the ball up from deep, playing deep, and
yeah,
I don't know. I really don't think we need two people doing that in a back three, back five, but it is what it is. It's still preseason, so
I fucking hate that when people keep saying it's still preseason, but in
mate, these players can't just turn it on.
I understand that. I understand that totally. Yeah, but I'm getting sick to death with people keep saying it's preseason, and then there's half of this. Yeah, but half of this team don't even know what the fucking system that they're playing, and they played most of that. Most of the system they played was last season and all. So how can you not? When people say it's only preseason, they had from January the 4th to the present day. They know that system. They should know this system by now, and half of them don't know fucking half of what they're doing. Some of them. Right, I'm going to run through it quick. Let's talk about Casey. Because I felt sorry for him a little bit. What do you make of him?
I wouldn't say I felt sorry, but I would. Again, it's a tall task. He wasn't very good. He did seem a bit out of his element, in my opinion. But again, he's young, he's learning, and he was asked to play in the middle of a back three for someone his age. And especially against a Premier League opposition. And I think Beto started.
Yeah,
that's a tall task, in my opinion. But again, he was not very good, and I think he's the type of lad to probably tell you that first himself.
Carl Walker-Peters view.
Meh. Didn't really do a lot.
Yeah, nothing to really note. Right, let's go Andy Irving.
I thought he was okay. Didn't think he was that bad. I think second half he was a little off the boil, but I think overall he was okay.
Is he okay, or is he? How can I word this? Is he okay for here, but is he not okay for the Premier League season?
Man, I don't know. Again, it's a weird position because I seen someone on Twitter tweet about why is Andy Irving starting? Why is Andy Irving still at the club? And it's as simple as this: he has 1 year left on his deal. He's on about $5K a week. Obviously, that's a lot of money for us, but in terms of the payroll at the club, there's really no point of shipping him out unless you get, I don't know. I don't know what his value is, 5 to 10 million pounds, something like that. But again, he's on $5,000 a week. He has a year left on his contract. The lads love him in the dressing room. He's a good vibe. And when he is called upon to come off the bench, he normally is not the one fucking up.
Yeah.
So again, I think I really don't know what his level is, but I think for us, he's an all right fit.
Yeah. Let's talk about Freddie Potts because I thought he looked good. He did get clattered. He had a great shot in the first half. Good save from Travis. What you make of him, mate?
I thought Freddie Potts was really, really good. In my opinion, I know I said in the chat, really, in my opinion, and again, I'm not slating him. I'm not putting him under a microscope, but like really the only thing I thought he'd done wrong was his part of his involvement in the first goal we conceded. I thought he could have replaced the space better, but ultimately I think Casey and Foderingham are a bit more at fault for that goal happening. But again, those little things, right? Everyone
Yeah.
wants Freddie Potts to be the man. He probably wants to be the man as well. But it's those little things, in my opinion, that set you apart from being a very good footballer and just being average.
Oh, listen.
But besides that,
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic, and I genuinely think he has it.
Right. I can accept him making mistakes. I can accept Casey making mistakes. I can accept all these youngsters making mistakes. The only thing I can't accept is when they overplay it in order to be forced into that mistake. That's where it loses me a little bit, and that's really what happened on the first goal. I suggest to anyone, go back and watch the goal again and watch it 20 seconds before the goal is scored. We're fucking about with it, literally going backwards and forwards. And so, and I said it on the watch along. I said, well, what the fuck is going on? The moment we give the ball away, they counter as they score. I can't blame Casey for that. I can't blame Potts for that. I blame the senior players for that. Andy
I
Irving,
don't know about
Ward
that.
Prowse. I do, mate, because it's just the same shit over and over again. I thought Potts was good. We mentioned Ward Prowse. Let's talk about Callum Marshall.
Thought he was very good. He actually was really good in tight spaces today as
Yeah,
well, and his pressing was very, very good. Like he wasn't running around like a headless chicken. His pressing seemed very calculated. His closing down was very good, and again, I was a bit impressed by just how good how good. I'm not gonna say how good he is or was, but how well he played in close spaces, laying the ball off, first
yeah,
touch. Thought it was very good.
yeah. One thing I liked about him is pressing. Superb from the start. He's a sort of player you want to bring on for the last 15,
But
20 minutes.
the only thing I hope we don't do, and I hope that the supporters don't do, we said the same thing about Mubama. He pressed decently, he closed down well, and then that happened. But again, I'm just being hopeful we don't do that. But I like the look of him. And again, I seen someone tweet today that like I'd rather see some of these youngsters make mistakes than the other senior players, and I do kind of agree. Like I would much rather see us bring on Callum Marshall at the end of a match, running, tracking down, closing down, pressing than Callum Wilson. I really would.
Um, I thought Marshall was good. I like what I see with him. He's a sort of player that West Ham need, especially up front. Pace, someone who can run in behind,
And
someone who can press
James
the
right here
fucking
makes a
defenders.
good point. He looked stronger than his
Yeah,
stature, in my opinion, as well. So
yeah.
that's a
And
good
there's a
point.
few players tonight that I see who literally got bullied off the ball, or on many occasions. Right, let's go to the second half. Let's talk about Luis Guilherme. What do you make of him in that system, mate? In that sort of
Um,
position?
yeah, at first I really couldn't tell what we were playing. It at the very beginning, I thought we went to a four back and had a Garrett at left back, but then I started to see like as the half went on, Guilherme was a bit more deep. So
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one. Depending on who you ask, he was either a left wing back or he was playing on the left wing, but just he started deeper. And again, I'm not into that. I'm not into that meticulous
Yeah.
tactico like thing. But it did seem a bit fruitful for him to start a bit deep so he could get his legs going, go past a couple people. But again, I don't disagree with some people saying that he was brilliant tonight. But for me, I thought he was all right. It was a
Um,
positive cameo for him, I'd say.
Tricky one for me. I thought he was good. But does that position at, because I think he's a left. I think he's a left wing back there. If I've got that right, I might be wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I'm wondering how he is against better players if he's turned around and there's someone running at him. That's the only thing that concerns me with him a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Again, it's preseason for me. I think there's some experimenting going on, and I'm not going to try to be the first to say that we're playing this, that, or the third in match week one.
yeah.
I'm not here to predict or guess. I'm going to wait till either Lil or right when I see us at Sunderland away.
Um, I've got to disagree on that. I'm looking at us now. We're basically what we're playing is a 3-5-2. That's basically it. That's what it is. That's what we're seeing, and we're seeing it over and over again. I thought he was good. Right, let's talk about Lucas Paqueta because for me, he was the man of the match for me. I don't know about you. I thought he was excellent.
Yes.
Amount of times he done reverse passes, he tracked back, he scored the goal that got us back in the game. Is he free from the shit that the FA and these cunts
Um,
have put him through over the years, or is it just one of them days?
I mean, again, it's preseason, not a lot of pressure. The match wasn't the most competitive, in my opinion. Actually, you'd probably say otherwise in the first 5-10 minutes. Fucking tackles flying around left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not gonna act like I know Paqueta or I'm in his head. But tonight, it seemed like he was playing carefree. He seemed to be having a good time. The vibes were flowing for him, and all of his passes were coming off, and he looked really good. Him and Marshall worked really well together, and I really liked how he was picking the ball up and just he was just showing the quality that he does have. And long may it continue. If we do not get 50, 60 million pound for him or whatever, and he stays, long may it continue. I wanna see it, and hopefully he is putting that behind him, whether he sues them or not, or the club sue them, whatever.
I thought he was excellent. I'm going to be honest. I think more after Bournemouth. If he puts in another performance like that, I think we might have the player back that we had a few years
And
ago. That
I would agree. He was also my man of the match, I'd say.
yeah, he was very very good. Um, I'll tell you what, let's talk about Potter. What's about Potter tonight for you?
Again, for me, wasn't the greatest of football matches, and I even tweeted before the match. I was like, I'm sick of seeing this 3-5-2, but I hope it looks better tonight, and I think it did. It did look
Mm,
better than previous, and it did look a bit better than some of the other matches we played last season when he came in. But again, all I can say is I see the vision a bit more with the patterns and the style of play he wants. But I'm not gonna sit here and say we've turned the corner or we look brand new, because I think we still need to bring in certain players, and I do think those
mm.
certain players and new signings could elevate it.
Um, I disagree. I thought the first half, and I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. I thought the first half was woke football, and we had too many players
Well, yeah, mate,
trying to do it too
that's
easy.
what we're gonna see. That we're not gonna see anything different. All we can do is try and figure out the way he wants to play, the patterns he wants, and then try and be like, well, if we get this new signing in, he can elevate that to a point. Because one thing I've been telling the boys, and I've
Yeah,
told some other people, the one big difference that I think we're going to see with Graham Potter versus Moyes, Bilic, Pellegrini, is that Potter and Macaulay are so detailed and so minute with who they want and who they're going to sign, right? In my opinion, I think the betting in period is going to take a lot less than what like Moyes, Bilic, and Pellegrini had.
I can
Because,
understand. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but go on,
but
I'll
again,
let you land. Go on.
or I think it's going to be a little bit different with that, because with the previous managers, we were bringing in a mix of players that they either fit the system
Mm,
or they're just a good player that did not fit the system. You know what I mean? And with this,
yeah,
I feel like the players we're not really targeting anyone like out of this world, but the players that we are going to bring in, they're going to fit the way we want to play, the patterns we want to play. And I do think like you had a problem with the signings of years past, because if you wanted time, I'd buy a watch. But with
yeah.
this, I do think that betting in period will be less.
I agree with you slightly on that. That if Potter's got a set play or set way of playing, he's only going to pick players who can fit that mold, right? So I can understand what you're saying on that. I think there's quite a lot of work that we need, though, mate. If
Yeah,
I'm being honest,
of
like,
course. Again, mate, when you end the season, you go on your holiday. Like how much time do they have away? Like a month,
mm,
something like that, a month and some change. Again, only like the freakiest of freak athletes and football players can just turn it on again like that. Everyone's
mm,
human to a point, and when you're away from the game for, and again, a month doesn't seem that long when there's 12 months out of a year. But you got to get your legs wet again. You got to get them going again. And like you said, a lot of these players, even though Potter came in and we're trying to play this system, some of them still probably aren't comfortable with it, and you can see that they're not. But again, when you drill in a month straight of training, preseason, you're together all the time, and when it's not as hectic as bringing a new manager in and learning stuff on the fly, I don't know, it's a little different in my opinion.
For me, I think the second half was good from Potter. Yeah, I think the team looked a lot more balanced. I think the goal Nicholas Fulkrug scored was a good
Yeah,
goal.
it's brilliant.
Right,
Brilliant
I'm
finish.
gonna mention him in a minute. The issue I've got is it's night and day. It's literally like it is night and day. One side it's fucking shit, the other side is good, and I see this quite a lot last season. Right, I'd see West Ham play shit in the first half, great in the second half, and the balance just wasn't right. I know it's pre-season. I understand that. I'm not disputing that at all. But what I'm seeing at the minute is the balance is just not there at the minute. I'm not saying it ain't going to get there. I'm not, but you know, was I know James has just said there, Jimmy and Alvarez still got to come back. I completely agree on that. But for me, I didn't like that first half. I think we overplayed, we overtried, and the second half it was basically get the ball down, get it forward, give it to Lewis Guilherme, give it to fucking Wan-Bissaka straight towards the goal, and that was so much better in my opinion. Um, Nicholas Fulkrug, mate. Before we come towards the end, goal.
Yeah, a lot better tonight. I thought he showed a lot more quality dropping deep today than he did the other day. But again, like I said, that's just preseason. I thought he was absolutely horrendous the other day, but today he was very good. And again,
Mm.
that just goes to show like you just keep going, you keep at it, you keep training, all that, and it might come together. And tonight it did come together, and now we look for that consistency going into the season. But I thought he was very good, and I mean his goal was phenomenal, especially on his weak foot. Very good shot.
Mm. Right. Before we come to the end, we're going to do the usual that we
Oh, and real
usually do.
quick, or yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We're going to do the usual. I want you to rate the performance of the team tonight
Okay.
out of 10.
Or what I was gonna say, we didn't talk about Foderingham. I have an interesting take on him. Again,
Mm.
the goal was really, really bad, and I don't want him to be our starter by any means. But even his sweeper play was so much better than Areola's. Like,
What was it?
and that we really need that, and that's what we're missing. That's all I wanted to say. I still think Areola is better than him in terms of all
Yeah.
around goalkeeping, but I thought West was a very good sweeper keeper tonight. Just a shame that he has bags for hands.
Yeah. Give us a rating for the team tonight, mate.
Again, mate, it's weird. Like I can't look at this as an actual match of football, but I know you will. Like to me,
Right.
this wasn't a match of football. This is a preseason match. This is like it wasn't real football to me, if that makes sense. So
Right. I'm
I
gonna rate.
overall I'd give it a strong 5, maybe a 6.
I thought the first half was shit. I thought the second half was better. I'd probably go for a 6, high 6 for me. I don't think it's a 7 because I think the first half wasn't good enough. If I'm
Because
being truthfully
if
honest.
this was an actual match, I'd give it probably give it a 4.
It wasn't good in the first half, mate, and I'll stand on that. Like it just wasn't good. The second half was a lot better. We looked every time we looked like we got the ball was going forward. I thought fucking at last and someone said it in the chat. They turned around and said that it seemed like West Ham had woken up and realised that the goal was that way. You know what
And
I'm saying?
one positive I really like tonight is that sometimes you'll see in these preseason matches, and
Mm,
obviously even in Premier League matches, when you have some youngsters playing, they kind of try to like hide them or shield them a bit. But tonight, I thought they got a lot like very involved. They were like really playing within the system and the patterns of play that we wanted, even if they did make a mistake, right? But to
mm,
me, I hate when players try to shield and baby a player because they might as well be off the pitch at that point. You know what I mean? It's like you're playing with one less man. But tonight, I thought Potts, Casey, Marshall. I think those were the only youngsters I played. I know Orford came
Orford,
on
yeah.
at the end, but didn't really do much. But with Casey, Potts, and Marshall, they were very involved in the patterns of play and the way we wanted to play. It didn't feel like they were hiding, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Um, Finally, give Potter a rating.
Um, I like the line. I like the lineup that came out. Again, people will say otherwise, but it's preseason. Like these players have to play. If Potter did not want these players a part of his side, or if they were on the way out, he would have left them in the UK, right? So whoever he brought, they're gonna have to play some minutes.
Right.
So I don't know. For me, I liked the look of the lineup. Um, I like who he brought on. Again, I thought there was some positives. There was also some negatives, but in my opinion, I was able to see the patterns of play, the style he wants to play, and again, in my opinion, even though it's not my favorite style of football, I can see if we bring in the correct players and the players that he wants to play this style, I do think we'll be in a decent spot when the season comes and as we go along. Again, I'm not going to say we're going to finish top half, eighth,
Yeah.
ninth, seventh, whatever, but I think we're not going to be as bad as what maybe some other people think.
I see Big Al in there. Has got something to say. I am obsessed with ratings, mate, because I like to know what the fuck is going on with this team. First things first. Number one with Potter. Why does he persist and keep playing Guido Rodriguez, who's fucking shit at this club? That's a worry for me. It really is that he keeps consistently playing this cunt who's shit. That's that on him. All right, I'm not even going to speak no more about that twat. The Lewis Guilherme wingback role. Does it does that make him a better player or does it make him better in that position? That's the question that needs to be asked on that one. Um, I don't know on that one. I thought Potter picked a good lineup at the start, but it just didn't really work out. Yeah, because I think that's more on the individual. Second half was a completely different side. Yeah, West Ham looked a completely different side. They was going forward. They looked more together. The front line knew what they was doing. The back line seemed to know what they were doing. And one thing I noticed in the second half, there was a lot more energy. West Ham, yeah, with Wan-Bissaka and Luis Guilherme. The Luis Guilherme wing back role doesn't make no sense to me, mate. I don't know about you. Before we wrap this up, what do you make on that? Because
I just
I don't
again,
get it.
I don't know what to make of it, and again, Tacticos in the comments in the live chat, they can discuss it all they want.
Right.
I really don't think Potter sees him as a left wing back. He's just kind of positioning him somewhere on the pitch where he might be able to use his skill set fruitfully, if that makes sense. Like for example, right? We all know Grealish isn't a left wing back, right? But there
Right.
are going to be some times in a match where you know what, Jack, and what does Jack do well? He drives with the ball, he gets fouls, all that, right? There are going to be some times where a manager will be like, you know what, Grealish, I need you to drop a little bit back so when you receive the ball, you can exploit all the space that's in front of you instead of always operating in a tight space. And I think that could be a thing with Guilherme, but no matter what position you play, right, you're gonna have to defend as much as you go forward. As we all know, Jared Bowen under Moyes, best defending winger in the Prem, in my opinion, because he worked his bollocks off, right? So no
Right.
matter where you play, you're gonna have to the work rate's gonna have to be there. But I don't think he's transitioning him to a wing back or anything like that. I just think that he might position him a bit deeper in certain situations or some matches so he can use his skill fruitfully, his best abilities.
Uh, I'm gonna disagree a little bit. I don't think you put a player there in that position just for the sake of it. I don't
But if we're
like.
playing a 3-5-2, where is he going to play? He's not a striker. He's not a midfielder.
I agree with you. Right, where does he play now? For me, you're putting him in that position because you're trying to mold him into that player.
I
That
don't agree with that at all. Just because someone plays there doesn't mean that's their position. Like
I understand that, but that's like saying like we're gonna put fucking Krug at fucking midfield. Like it just wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
No, but
Like,
that's a perfect example. We all know Nicholas Fulkrug isn't a midfielder, but that's where he was picking up the ball and he picked up position sometimes. It's the same thing with Guilherme. He is a winger. He is not a left wing back or a left back. He was told to be in that position, pick up the ball from there, and then do what he does
yeah,
best: drive with the ball,
maybe,
use the space.
maybe. Um, Before we do wrap this up, final question: what do you make of the system for you?
Um, like I've said, and I'll say it till the cows come home. Really, it's not
Yeah,
my favorite brand of football. It's not my favorite style,
I
but
agree.
again, that is the style that we are going to see. I'm not going to sit here every week and really give my preferences and all that, because that's not really my job as a supporter or what I do. Of course, I have my favorite brand of football, but that brand of football long left the club when our last manager left, and nobody really likes that style. But again, football is all about opinions. It's very subjective. But for me, again, it's all about trying to understand what I'm seeing, and I think I do understand what I'm seeing in the patterns that he wants to play. But again, that's not to say it's my favorite or I love it, and I don't think people have to accept that to a point. They just have. I think they just have to be understanding that that's the way we're going to play, and they can see what Potter's trying to accomplish within the system.
Uh, well, everyone knows my opinion on these systems. I don't like the three at the back. I just don't think we attack enough. And I know that people like to control the games, but against good teams, you ain't gonna be able to control games. That's the thing. And there's always one positive tonight that no one's mentioned at all, and I put it on X just a minute ago before I come on, is that we've actually won a game from a losing position. So that's a good thing in itself that we've come back from a losing position, and that's the first time we've ever done that under Potter.
Now,
So that's
if we can do that in an actual match, that'd be nice. I wouldn't really count this
well,
one.
well, you know, we've got to start somewhere, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what I'm saying? Right, that's been the afterthought. West Ham United 2, Everton 1. It's a good win. It's pre-season, as everyone tells me. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone
If you don't think
TV.
it's preseason, you got to go see the doctor, because you're not living
Well,
in
well,
reality.
well, you know. Any final words from you, Lucas? Anything you want to say?
No, onwards and upwards to Sunday against Bournemouth in Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, again, I just hope during these preseason matches we're just onward and upward, and I hope we start to understand the system we're in, the patterns of play that the gaffer wants, and we bring in some new signings. And unfortunately, I do think those signings are going to come a bit later than earlier. But again, like I said, I have a positive feeling that with the way Potter and McCauley scout and sign players, that they fit the way they want to play so well that even if we did get them a week before the season or after Sunderland, I do think they could come in right away and play the way that he wants.
I hope so. I hope so. That's the only fear I've got, is that if these players don't kick into gear, then we might be fighting uphill. But I sort of understand what you're saying. He's only going to bring in players that's
Yeah,
going to fit his style.
I choose to be hopeful, but not delusional, I'd say. But again, I'm not going to tell anyone how to think about the future or what they want to see for this club. But I am hopeful that with some of the systems in place, we will be off better than what some people think.
Yeah. Listen, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, goes a long way. I want to thank everyone who was on the watch along earlier. It was really good. I had some good comments, and I paid 15 quid to watch West Ham play tonight.
What?
Yes, I did, mate. I couldn't get a stream for love of money, so I had to pay for it. Paid for 15 quid for a friendly, Lucas. Don't ever tell me I'm not committed to this fucking club, bruv. I better
Maybe you
get
should
it.
reliable sources.
I know,
Bitbox.
mate. I know. But Goodwood tomorrow. We will have it back. No worries about that. Um, there's no point doing a player ratings now. We've just spoke about every fucking player. But yeah, listen, I will be back tomorrow at some point. But for now, it's time to sleep. Take care. Peace.